hate
The behaviour is jaw-dropping. This video out of Sydney's exclusive all-boys school, Knox Grammar, just one example of the misogyny, anti-Semitism and homophobia laid bare in a 150-strong student group chat last month.
I have grave concerns for some of these young people if that is the behaviour that they're exhibiting in their high school years.
And Knox isn't alone. At least 2 more Sydney schools have reported a rise in abusive incidents against Jewish children who've been the subject of Nazi salutes and racist insults. That's on top of degrading public behaviour, alleged sexual assaults and fight clubs that have come out of some of the country's most elite boys' schools. We all know boys aren't born this way. So what is it about society that's leading them to such a dark place?
The algorithms are set up to pollute and marinate these developing brains to absolutely be the opposite of what we want to grow up to be a healthy, respectful human being. So we really need to take some responsibility because it's the grown-ups who've created this world.
Experts say groupthink plays a huge role in what's going on.
The fear of not fitting in can be really strong amongst adolescents, and so when they're hearing or seeing information that's shared online or in a group, they can really feel the fear of being trodden on if they speak up.
And while that's nothing new, the level of bad behaviour is.
It's actually got to a much darker and a more dangerous space because they're watching more dangerous content. We know that this is really making what was there, which still wasn't okay, worse.
Almost half of all 9 to 16-year-olds have encountered explicit sexual images in the past month, with boys more likely to seek it out than girls. Earlier this year, ASIO warned of an alarming increase in minors embracing extremism online. So what can parents do to help their kids navigate this toxic online environment that's too often bleeding into real life?
Parents actually need to step in and have these conversations with our young people. They need to know what is happening online. They need to know what they're saying.
Just because you don't know the answer, the correct thing to say at the right time, then be prepared to say, yep, I got it wrong. Because as a parent, if you're showing your children that you're not perfect, but you're prepared to improve yourself, then you're creating a great role model for that child.
Angus Bowering from mentoring group Top Blokes works with boys to help them check their behaviours and beliefs.
To really change these sorts of things and have them not happen again, we need to make a holistic community sort of change. That means the school, the parents, the teachers, the coaches, they all have to look at these attitudes that they have.
He says the most important thing we can do to help the boys in our lives is listen.
We want to come to these guys and rather than push them away and think, hey, you're bad, you're broken, we want to come to them and say, hey, why do you think like this? And maybe let's challenge the way that you think.
I think our young people are forgetting that these are real people, and I think sometimes they're quite disassociated from that.
I think it's been an absolutely awful experiment that we've dumped on our children and our teens without fully understanding the future impacts on their mental health.
So the most important thing is to listen, be open and challenge the ideas rather than just challenging the person.
It's interesting, having a chief behaviour advisor being brought in to try to solve this or help this issue. Isn't that just another authority figure? These kids already have teachers and principals who aren't really necessarily helping. They do need that mentoring, someone of their own age or someone in their own sphere who they can relate to and share experiences with.
Once upon a time, I think that was parents. Wasn't it? That's what it's one thing to say, people are always like, I say to my children, but it's what they see you do. And I think it was Maggie Dean who made that really interesting point about what phones have done, because we take a child and their precious innocence, which is for such a brief period of time, and we fill it with violence and pornography, and it's really, and then we wonder why they're weird.
And then they're not protected from the world at home anymore because the world's in their
That's
hands.
right. And also, as parents, we don't pull them up on that because we want to sit there.
We don't even notice what they're on.
No, that's right.